Hello everybody, Mr. Pilgrim here, coming at you with the fourth video in our Platinum Trophy Guide for Lies of P. In the last video we'd gone through the St. Frangelico Cathedral and taken on the next boss and also solved our first cryptic vessel. Now, like always, from here we're just going to head into the next area and I'm going to show you guys what to grab, weapons or important things like that, as well as tough enemies to take on, and just how to navigate through each area and unlock some shortcuts, and we're also going to get some riddles along the way. Now, like I've said before, some riddles and things like that you won't be able to immediately get. You'll have to kind of backtrack, but don't worry, I got you guys covered, and we'll show you exactly where to backtrack for said items. So now we're on the path of the pilgrim, and from here, do be careful of bear traps on the ground. They are now a common thing that you will find. As you'll see with your upgraded salamander dagger, all of these corpse-related enemies and items simply go down without any fuss. Coming up here to the left, you'll find a key item that'll be helpful for a vendor later on, the smiling bunny mark. Then from here you'll find your first stargazer of the area.
They left the old town behind. Through isolation and neglect, Krot's first...
So, from this stargazer, if you follow this path, you'll find your next weapon, which is a fairly decent weapon to get, and it is going to be the acidic spear. This will basically cause decay from your attacks, so now you have basically the three main elemental types. You'll have your fire with your salamander dagger, you'll have your shock with your electric coil stick, and now you have your decay from the acidic spear. Now coming down here you'll find a bear type enemy that is a corpse and weak to fire. Just try and strafe around to the left or right to get behind it and you should be a-okay. Off to the right is another purple butterfly that you can defeat for another dark moonstone of the Covenant. Coming down here through the village, if you stay on the rooftops, as you'll see, following this path around, you can drop down into this room for some extra items and unlock this little door, and here you'll have an elevator shortcut back up to the stargazer. As you'll see, trying to go down it, it just leads to death. But after you take the elevator up and you're coming back down, what you actually want to do is walk against this back wall. You'll be able to exit out and get yourself a bonus Dark Moonstone of the Covenant, which is pretty cool. Now from here, what I am going to say and show you guys is how to fight this tough enemy right here. You get your weapon ready. You should be able to at least get a decent amount of charged R2 attacks on him. Eventually he will start backing away, as you'll see. If you actually dodge towards him, you'll basically fully avoid these fury attacks. But just like that, he'll go down and he will get you the Slum Shack key, which is used just right here. It was a little tricky considering my weapon's durability got a little low, but we persevere. Coming inside, you'll find two enemies. And in here, you should have your next I believe Legion plug or Legion caliber. Oh no, I was completely wrong. It is a new converter. That is entirely on me. Now, for the most part, you can just do what I'm going to do and sprint past most of these enemies, as there's nothing important in this little area. But I will show you actually how to fight and take on the bear-like enemies that I mentioned before. Ow. So, coming over here, you should see this new enemy type just waiting for us. So once you're ready, you can approach the gate or door, whatever makes you feel comfortable. As you'll see, just getting behind the bear will easily get you that chance to get your charged R2 attacks on them, and as you'll see, just like that, they go down without a fight. Now from here, I'm just going to want to continue on and follow this path. You'll head inside here. You can head up for, I believe, an item. If I remember correctly, it's not something of importance. Yeah. Special resistance. But coming down here, you'll have a couple of drops that you'll have to make. You don't have to roll like I'm doing. You can just walk off like so. But I just think it's better to be safe than sorry. But once you're at the bottom and coming outside here, you will finally be in the Malum district. Here you'll see some familiar faces from the Vanini works, the Black Cat and Red Fox. Do note you don't actually need to interact with them every single time that you can come across them, as they are kind of on a set appearance, so no matter what, they will always appear in certain spots. So like always, I'm going to show you guys how to get through the next area. So here in Malum District, we're going to kind of split this up into a couple of sections, just because some of them are kind of drop downs and you can't return to where you're going without kind of progressing. So we're just going to start off here in this first area, which will then eventually lead into this kind of little bar or distillery. Inside, if you come back here into the right and then immediately take a right, you'll be able to drop down into this secret little area. Now coming down here will get you this chest right here. Which will get you a new brake cartridge. Basically upgrades, people, upgrades. Now coming upstairs will be back to where we just were, and we can now continue on up the stairs and then through this alley. Coming in here, you'll see that we have a couple of things that we're going to be getting. Here you can find a motivity crank, and then here you have a enemy I'm just going to deal with. Now this is going to be the next kind of stopping point, so I will show you guys that next area now, or after I've cleared out everything but the big enemy. Alright, so once you guys are ready, we can head on here and try and take on this big guy first, as he is probably the first real issue. Whenever he does that, it's best to just run away instead of trying to actually... okay, I'm just having my timing off. As you can see, it is a very tough window to hit. There we go. But do be careful, as you can see, he does have some pretty sick combos. Now do note, once he does get low health, he will do this. It's best just to run away and then go in for a full punish, because by that point he should be dead. And you will get the Patience Amulet, which will give you, I believe, an increase to your stamina. Coming here into this center building, we will find a chest that has some quartz inside. Now, if we come around here to the back of this building, there should be a ladder you can climb up. Do note there is a red dimensional butterfly on this roof. But coming over here and off to the left up here, we will find a chest which will have a new weapon for us. The bone-cutting saw blade, or the weapon that the Mad Donkey was using in his boss fight. Now from here, the only thing to do is just leave, as the rest is more or less just consumables and items like that. So if you come around here to the back, you'll find this building with a ladder you can now ascend. And here we'll find our next telephone and the King of Riddles. The answer to this riddle is a candle. Now, like I said, this Trinity key, we're going to have to backtrack to use it, but I will show you guys exactly where to go to use it in the St. Frangelico Cathedral. Excuse me, sorry. But yes, the second Trinity key, or Trinity Sanctum, is in the St. Frangelico Cathedral. Now, from here, I'm just going to make a straight run to unlock the major shortcut back to the Stargazer. So if you just run all the way up here and past all these enemies, you'll have a Black Rabbit Brotherhood that will cause us to step in a bear trap. Don't worry, it does no damage to you. It is a scripted event that's going to happen. Now, coming inside this bar here, you'll have this big enemy. Basically, just bait them into an attack, and then come into this back room to open up the shortcut door back to the Stargazer. For the sake of things, I'm just going to rest. That way I can show you guys something. So if we now head inside and up this ladder here, we'll find probably one of the more important merchants of the game, as he sells an infinite supply of consumables. Now, you'll need to show him the Black Rabbit Brotherhood insignia that we picked up earlier, but he also sells us a weapon, a cartridge, and more importantly, also a record. But as you guys can see, he sells an infinite amount of all of the throwing consumables and the grindstone grinders that you can apply, which is pretty cool. And just to the next of him is a Legion Caliber. Now, this next boss, I actually am going to highly recommend that you guys switch to either the Acidic Crystal Spear, or if you think you're doing just fine with the weapon you have, then you can perfectly do that. But I'm going to do that, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to backtrack to Hotel Krat. I'm going to, if I need to, purchase some Hidden Moonstones, and then upgrade this to +3. Trust me, it really does help. Or if you're feeling comfortable, you can also always use a boss weapon of choice. So I'll see you once that's ready to go. Now then, once you guys are ready, all you're going to want to do is head back inside the Red Lobster and take these stairs, which will lead to the exit. Now, there's no enemies in this next area, but there is a boss. Like always, I'm going to use a Spectre just to make the fight a little bit easier on myself to keep the guide going. This boss, and probably its second version of it, which I'm spoiling now, you do have to do this boss twice in a different manner.
bring it on.
Here we have the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. Now the fights will start off with the big brother, and he is the main one that you actually want to deal with. At certain points, though, the other members of the Brotherhood will join in. It is best to try and take them out whenever you can. As you'll see, if you don't, more of them will join in. Do note you can backstab these smaller ones. Do note after a certain HP, they will actually leave. Or if you are feeling confident enough, you can just solely go for the big brother. And just like that, he goes down.
Damn you. You'll pay for that.
And that will be your next trophy for defeating the Black Rabbit Brotherhood for the first time. Now, once inside this building here, there's a couple things we're going to grab. Immediately on the left in this side room is a poster. This is actually very important to getting one of the special weapons. And then the next thing of importance to grab is just behind this little bar here. You'll find a chest with some quartz inside. Now, that is pretty much going to do it for this little area, of course. As you can see, the rest is more or less just side stuff. Just notes, as you can see. But we're not quite done yet in Malum District, as we do have one last little secret. So coming back here, we can find this unique elevator, which will actually have us do a little cutscene for. And I'll show you guys what's at the top. Access to Giangio again, as you'll see. Now, from here, if you actually open up this door, you'll have a little cutscene. Here is your gold coin tree, and this will produce gold coin fruit. First time getting this, you will also get a trophy for bearing gold coin fruit. Do note that there is just a timer of 10 minutes to make one gold coin fruit. So if you really want to, you can just forget about this and then come back every now and then to get 8 of them. Now, the whole purpose of them is 2 reasons. One is you have NPC quest lines that require you to give them or use gold coin fruit, which I will be doing, of course. And then the other reason for the gold coin fruit is at Giangio, you can actually purchase these wish stones. Now, the one I recommend the most, especially for your first playthrough, is the friendship wish stone. It is pretty good to have, and we're just going to buy 2 of them. Now, the main reason why I recommend it is simply because it'll restore the Spectre's HP. So say you're having a difficult fight, but you're not doing too bad, but your Spectre is almost dead, well, you can then use that to practically refill their entire HP bar and allow them to keep aggro or whatever it is that you might need. Now, as you'll see here, we are now back in Hotel Krat. Now the first thing that you actually want to do is come and talk to Geppetto. He will tell us to go and find Lady Antonia. And then another thing you can immediately do is show him the poster, and then you will get a new gesture, the clap gesture. So from here, you basically just want to drop down. We'll talk to Lady Antonia, and she will give us the key to Rosa Isabella Street. Now don't worry, we're pretty much almost done with this episode. From here, you're going to want to head up the stairs and off to the right. And here you can finally use the Rosa Isabella Street key. Now this next area is primarily going to be puppets, so the electric coil stick is probably going to be key once again. There will probably be at least 1 or 2 weapon changes throughout the area just to make life a little bit easier on you guys. But now we're going to be heading to Rosa Isabella Street. Oh, sadly, this is where I'm going to be ending the video, but this will pretty much be the next video immediately after, so no worries there. As always, this has been Mr. Pilgrim. I do hope that my video and guides have been helpful or informative in any way, shape, or form. As always, I will see you all in the next video for this Platinum Trophy Guide.
The legendary prima donna.